his things, his clothes and his toys, and one very he is using things that belong to his school. Don't you think it's fun making things like this? Andy does. Miss Ballard is pleased. But now it's time for the children to return to their desks. They're going to practice writing. Andy likes that. He likes to write. He'll hurry back to his desk. But Andy forgot things. It's bad your teacher is disappointed in you when you don't seem to... After school, Andy doesn't feel like playing with his friends. But he wants to do something. Now what does he see? This is Fred. He isn't one of Andy's regular friends. He's older. But Andy's thinking Fred might be a friend. And Fred's thinking that Andy may be almost big enough. If Andy can have an older boy as a friend, then nobody can call him baby anymore. So he asks Fred to come and see his tadpoles. He has 2 live ones. Fred might like to see the tadpoles sometime. Then Andy tells Fred about something else he has, something he received as a present. Fred would like to see that. Go to Andy's house. This is Andy's room. Here's Andy with Fred. And here are Andy's tadpoles. See? Oh, they're dead. Now Andy remembers he hasn't thought to feed them for many days. And that was one of his responsibilities. But he can still show Fred his special present. That's what Fred came to see. If Andy can only find it. His very best thing of all. He just has to find it. Because Fred might not believe him, and Fred says he should have known better than to come home with a little kid. Now Andy's really alone. And look at this. His jet airplane. Poor Andy. Won't he ever learn to take care of things? Here's June, Andy's sister. She wants to play. But Andy says no. It seems Andy just can't get along with anybody today. Anybody but Mother. Maybe Mother knows where Andy's special present is. No, she doesn't. But she does know that something is troubling Andy. What is it? So Andy tells her about what happened at school. And about Fred and the tadpoles and losing his present and... Well, why do things like that happen? Mother says, well, Andy, why do you think? Because Mother knows, and Andy knows, and we know that those things happen because Andy hasn't learned to take care of things. Now June is having trouble with her things. Gretchen's head has come off, and June wants Mother to fix it. Suddenly, Andy says, let me fix it. Right now, he's going to start showing that he can take care of things. Don't you suppose Andy is glad to do something to make up for being so mean to June? Besides, it's fun fixing things. When you're through, it's more fun to know you've done a good job. And it's fun to see how much people appreciate it. Now Andy knows he has friends. He thinks he can fix that jet airplane, too. But some things can't be fixed. And no fixing will find things you've lost, such as Andy's favorite present. No, Andy will have to take care of his things all the time. He'll begin right now by putting his jacket and cap away where they belong. Then he'll know just where to find them tomorrow morning. That's another one of his responsibilities. But uh-oh, there's a button missing. Well, Mother will be glad to sew on a new button, especially now that Andy is helping her by looking after his clothes. And he's going to look after his other things, too. He's going to have a certain place for each thing, and keep each thing in its place. And he knows one way to show Fred and the kids at school that he's no little kid. And he's really quite grown up. Ever since then, Andy's been thinking about how grown up it is to take care of things. When he cleans up his wagon, he thinks about how often he sees the firemen working over their fire engines and equipment to make sure everything is always ready to use. Andy has some new fish in place of his tadpoles. When he feeds them, he thinks of Cousin Len, who helps his father take care of the cows on his dairy farm, where Andy likes to visit. When Andy picks up things that might cause someone to fall and hurt himself, he thinks of his friend the policeman, who helps the children go to and from school safely. Andy has learned, too, that some things break very easily, so he must be especially careful of them and use them just as they're supposed to be used. That's being grown up, too. Many men work with things made of glass and with other things that have to be handled very carefully. Some things that are fun to do are also messy. But Andy has learned to clean up the mess as soon as he's through. After all, doesn't Mother spend a great deal of time washing dishes and cleaning up after the family has eaten? And when Father does his jobs about the house, doesn't he clean up and put away the tools? Yes, cleaning up after yourself is a grown-up way to behave. And what's more, you'll know you've done something that's a real help to your family. Taking care of things is a real help at school, too. You just know Miss Ballard appreciates Andy's help. And nobody thinks of Andy as a baby anymore. Everybody likes Andy. Today, Andy and June are having fun helping Father take care of the yard. But what is Andy so excited about? Do you know what? He's found his special present. What do you suppose it is? It's a camera. Andy's own camera that he got on his birthday. Of course, it's a little dirty. Andy should never have left it outdoors. Can they fix it? Father thinks they can fix it this very afternoon. In a little while, the camera is fixed. What's more, now that Andy has shown that he can be responsible for taking care of things and using them properly, Father thinks he's big enough to use the camera and take real pictures. Andy wants to take a picture of Fred, the boy who came to see the camera the day Andy couldn't find it. Remember? Now Fred is glad to play with Andy. He knows that Andy is not too little to be a friend. If you want people to know that you're growing up, learn how to take care of things. You'll have more fun, too.